How is everybody doing today? My name is Master Zero and welcome back to another reaction video. This time we are reacting to The Color of Corruption, How Purple is Used in Video Games by Razbuten. Alright, so first things first, as every suggestion video goes, a huge shout out to Ellie Sal. Thank you so much for this suggestion. And I'm pretty glad that my hair isn't purple anymore. It shaded to pink, so we could actually talk about the corruption of purple, apparently. But it says in video games, so I think I'm safe. But my favorite color is purple, in case y'all guys didn't know. But yeah, I'm super excited to see how this plays out, how this video plays out. Because I know the color purple, I always referred to it as like royalty and stuff like that. I'm not saying that like, oh, I dyed my hair purple because I think I'm royal, nothing like that. But just that aspect of the color purple, that's what I envision purple. But this one says the color of corruption in video games. So I'm super interested to see how this plays out. So without any further ado, here is the color of corruption, how purple is used in video games. Razbuten. Hope I'm saying that right.
Colors are massively important to how video games communicate information to players. They're used as signals that let people know what to expect from something by just glancing at it. And as games have grown as a medium, they have developed a sort of color language that almost anyone who plays them regularly is familiar with. Like
honestly didn't think about this.
Are typically used to show a character's health, commonly with green being for when a character hasn't taken much damage, and red for when they're close to death. Yellow and white are often tied to navigation, whether that be through waypoints or direction markings in a level itself. And blue is almost always used for
Makes sense so far.
These colors weren't just chosen at random. They're based off of cultural associations and how colors occur in the natural world. So with health bars, green is the color of grass, plants, and leaves when they're in season, and red is the color of blood. Both are physical representations of various.
I want to know what that game is, and I want to play it.
White and yellow are the colors of stars in the night sky and lights in the distance. Both things that have.
This is already really interesting.
Years. And for magic, blue is the color of the ocean and sky. It's the color of focus and tranquility. So while I personally don't know what real magic looks like, it makes sense that its color would be tied to nature and control.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Kind of
like a Magic the Gathering.
Specific color palettes are used to get us to think a certain way based on our prior experiences and understanding of colors. And the connection between how colors exist in the real world and video games is generally easy to see. And then there's purple. Purple isn't common in nature. It's a color that for a long time was reserved only for those wealthy and royal enough to afford it.
I was right.
And that has become its most common association. But in games, it's different.
Waiting for the butt.
It's the color of tainted water and air. It's the color of
poison
and unnatural magic. It's the color of being taken over by a malevolent force.
Interesting.
It's the color of something spreading that must be stopped. In games,
should I not like purple?
It's the color of corruption.
Oh. Now that's how you do a title sequence. That's how you do it right. I still like purple.
Until recently, I never really thought about this connection, but once
Me neither.
did, I couldn't stop seeing examples of it. From the pools of malice trying to spread across the countryside of Hyrule and Breath of the Wild, to the poisoned ponds that have overtaken Niwen and Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisp, to the fully sprouted weeds littered throughout my island in Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Haven't played that either.
Various shades often are used to represent that which threatens to take over the natural world.
I mean, it makes sense now that he points it out.
The hero can't ignore. It's used to depict poison and things related to it, which can be seen in the color palettes of poison-type Pokemon and the meter that quickly fills up as you trudge through Blighttown in Dark Souls. It signifies danger. It's something not to be trifled with. A lot of villains, especially those who were once good but have shifted due to some power outside of their control, have some element of purple in their appearance. This also goes for characters who, while not explicitly evil, are inversions of the heroes, like Wario and Waluigi, as well as Hilda and Ravio from A Link Between Worlds. It is an unnatural force, challenging every aspect of the world we know. It's magic that is mysterious and dark, like shadow magic in World of Warcraft, and even the nether portals in Minecraft. And the question
it even connects to Minecraft.
Why purple? Massive purple blobs don't cover dying forests. Poisons aren't easily identifiable by their purple hue, and almost none of my enemies wear purple on a regular basis. So again, why purple? And like most complicated questions, the answer is a lot of stuff, probably. Most of the things that purple ends up
probably gonna dive into it.
Games don't exist in the real world. So when adding these elements, developers are faced
that
with
is
a
a
tough
pretty
task
game.
of figuring out how these things should look. While sometimes it may be as simple as them just
back to the gorilla killing.
Purple, generally I think there's far more to it than that. The easiest connection to make between the color itself and the idea of corruption comes from its ties with royalty. Purple became associated with the ruling class because they were the only ones who were really able to afford it. The process of making purple dye involved harvesting a certain type of sea snail, and in order to produce even just a tiny bit of it, it took extracting liquid from thousands and thousands of them. This led to it becoming a luxury item of great expense that those wealthy
I did not know that. That is very interesting.
Status. It isn't exactly a secret that monarchs throughout the ages have used their positions to further benefit themselves, often at the expense of their subjects. So using purple to symbolize villains, especially those who have been corrupted by power, makes a lot of sense. It's a way to show that their humanity has faded in their pursuit of self-interest. On a similar note, given that one of the most common villain tropes is wanting to take over the world, it's no surprise that villains seeking to insert themselves into a position of power would incorporate purple into their wardrobe. They want to show their status. They want to be respected as a leader. Taking it one step further, using purple to show the negative effects on the world brought on by those seeking power helps highlight the danger they pose. Another potential reason for purple's common use in this way could be the fact that we aren't used to seeing it all that often in nature. Our associations with lush forests, rolling hills,
rolling hills,
most other typical video game terrains aren't purple-centric. So it stands out when it shows up and has the distinct sense of not belonging. This goes hand in hand with how many poisonous animals in nature have bright and vivid coloring as a way to warn off potential predators.
God, I never would have thought about this if you didn't point it out.
Given that many other colors already have set associations in games, it's possible that a lot of developers, especially back in the early days when there were more limitations on color palettes, went with purple in order to not mix up too many signals. Furthermore, while most actual poisons are colorless, a few of the more historically famous ones like aconite and mandrake come from plants with purple leaves. So the use of purple as a way to signal
some tells me not to smell that flower.
Danger makes a lot of sense.
Because it's purple.
Beyond all of that, there are also a handful of reasons tied to color theory. In real life, most of us would associate black with things like rot, darkness,
death,
and evil. But black is a difficult color to work with. It's hard to shade and contour, and this can lead to
the absence of light
when used in animation. However, purple is far easier to shade and can still have a pretty dark look, so it is often used as a stand-in for black, as well as an accent color for it. This trend became pretty popular in early animation, some of the most notable examples coming from Disney, with the Evil Queen in Snow White and Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty. As animation is a massive part of video games, they have obviously taken cues from animated films and shows, and these sorts of color choices are no exception. From a more symbolic standpoint, purple is the combination of red and blue, two of the most commonly used opposing colors, with blue typically taking the role of the hero and red being the danger they face. So
like Star Wars
is almost a sort of middle ground. It has the feeling of transition.
Well, yeah, it's both colors put together.
Considering the use of purple for characters who were once good but have slipped in some way to the side of darkness, purple as a transformational color feels fitting. It's a state of uncertainty. Similarly, while purple is used to represent darkness, it isn't sheer black. There is still light in there somewhere, which means there is still hope of restoration, whether for a plagued countryside or a hero who lost their way. Purple works so well as the color of corruption because it gives off a feeling of being able to be fixed. The associations we make with colors are weird and fascinating, and it's incredible to think that video games have influenced so many people's personal associations with them. I think both video games and animation deserve a lot of credit for how they play with our understanding of color.
Hell yeah.
Purple has been defined for centuries by
not a lot of people think about this. At least I didn't.
Game developers have taken that influence and shifted it in a major way. They took a color that has been coveted for so long and made it abundant. Even more importantly, they made that abundance threatening. And now I can't see purple without thinking of the spreading threat of corruption.
That is good. Okay, that was very, very insightful. That was such an insightful video. I didn't even begin to think that video games use the color or any color for that matter. Like, even the wave points, I didn't realize that they were white and yellow. Like, just stuff like that. And then the obvious one, like good guy blue, bad guy red. I mean, that's like Star Wars. That's almost anything. But just like the navigation is white and yellow, and then the whole purple aspect, the whole point of this video, I did not think about it at all. Like I said at the very beginning of this video, I just pictured purple as like royalty and stuff like that. But he explained it. He explained that and beyond, which was really, really cool. The whole royalty corruption and stuff. But the one thing in this video that blew my mind over all the other ones, like all the other stuff blew my mind, but this one is like up there beyond that. But just the fact that, like, back to the blue and red thing, it's like purple is the in-between. It's like someone that was good that got corrupted into something evil, but there is that shred of hope that they would still return back to the way they were, a good person. And that's really, really cool. Like, I did not think of that at all. At all. It did not cross my mind path whatsoever. But yeah, that was a very, very, very good video. I really like that. I'm probably going to subscribe to this channel because just the way he narrates and everything like that, it's really, really cool. And I love the whole, like, science behind video games videos. I really, really enjoy those because I don't know a lot that goes through to make a video game and stuff like that. And then for them to actually take it a step further and like use colors to try to tell us things without actually telling it but showing it, just throw a little purple in there and then the player automatically is like, that ain't right. So yeah, very, very awesome video. I really enjoyed it. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like down below because it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos like this one. So with that said, I have been Master Zero. Y'all guys have been fantastic, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Later days.